Hey guys, it's Jennifer. Hey, as most of you know, we are busy in the middle of repainting my kitchen cabinets back here to a beautiful gray color. I am so excited. But as every woman in America knows, one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another when you're doing a project. So heaven forbid I kept the same handles and poles in my kitchen, right? So I am now in the process of switching all those out. So you know, I have a hard time just sticking with one thing because there's so many I like, right? So I wanted to kind of switch up. I have some knobs, some poles, and then I have two really long pantry doors that I thought, hey, why don't I make those, you know, since the pantry doors are long and skinny, why don't I do handles that are long and skinny? So these are the knobs that many of you voted on. Let me go close. Aren't those pretty from Hobby Lobby? Squirrel. Okay, so you guys voted on these. Love them. Thanks. They're going on all of my cabinet doors, but on my pantry doors, I wanted to put something ornate that goes up and down. Okay, so these were the ones that I like the shape, and these two came from Hobby Lobby, but I don't like how they look next to these, and I certainly don't like them on my gray cabinets. They don't match at all. So this morning I painted this. Dun, dun, dun. I know, isn't that cool? And it took me literally like a minute. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I feel like this can go with this in the same kitchen brilliantly. I mean, they both have like the rings around the outside. I left enough of this blue color on this one showing that I think it kind of picks up the gray a little bit in my base coat. So I'm going to show you guys really quick what I did. I am a lazy crafter, and so one of the reasons I get a lot of crafting done is because I don't take a bajillion hours to like do everything to perfection, because ain't nobody got time for perfection. So I'm not even taking these are two separate pieces. I'm not even taking them apart, okay, first of all. Second of all, I'm using something that I have hardly anything left of. Faux Effect stainless steel in American walnut. Literally, like, look how much is in there. Can you see? Ooh, can you see that? I don't even know if you can see that. Like a tablespoon. And a stiff old half-used paintbrush, okay? So I probably left this open a little bit too long today. Dipping a cheap old chip brush in here and literally, let me see if I can do this while I look at you guys at the same time. I am going to chip on this brown color. I may have left the stainless steel open this morning a little longer than I should have. How about I just do half of this on the screen for you guys, because otherwise it might take just a minute. Okay, so I'm trying to cover not all of the blue, but a lot of it, okay? Like, see how that's just chipping onto there? You are gonna get your hands dirty. That's the fun part about painting. But I don't want you guys to think about this stuff too much, alrighty? So keep going here. The top part is the fun part up here because that's the part that's mostly going to be seen. Make sure you get underneath here. And make sure you cover plenty of it so the majority of this thing is dark brown, okay? All right. Since you're all watching, I'm gonna do it fast. Okay. Once I feel like I've got enough dark brown on there, we're just gonna pretend I do. We're gonna let it sit for about, I don't know, 5 minutes till it's not soaking wet anymore. For the sake of video, I'm not gonna wait at all. I'm gonna blow. Okay, and I'm gonna pretend that it's dry. But if you take a sanding block, notice, Exhibit A, doesn't have to be a pretty sanding block or a new sanding block or even a good sanding block. But if you take this and start sanding on this after it's set up for a minute, it's going to take it back down. So that basically I'm gonna be sanding through the dark brown back to see some of the original blue. Now here's the key, and this is why I love this one so much. I sanded it hard. Can you look and see how that's like silvery metal is what's showing through? So if I take my Exhibit A with my Exhibit B and I sand like a mad woman, and again, you might have to wait until your stain has set up just a little, but if you sand really hard, you too will go down to the bare metal. Now, I always keep something really great and fancy, schmancy, and professional like a toothbrush with all of my crafting supplies, because you get like, you know, sanding dust everywhere. So after you sand the whole thing, I use a toothbrush. Make sure it's not the toothbrush of someone you love, or not the toothbrush of someone you don't love. sand that puppy off, okay? So all the dust is off, so sand it all, then use a toothbrush and get it all cleaned off. And the thing is, I don't want this to be super shiny. I like how it's matted because what I'm putting it up next to is matted. And so I'm gonna be using this clear acrylic that I just got at Hobby Lobby also. It's a spray can. And it's in matte. I wish that Dead Flat Varnish came in a spray, and I wish it came in a flat spray, but I don't think that it does. So I will be using that, and I will be hanging these up yet today, all right? I hope that that encourages someone to maybe look at some handles just simply for the shape and know that you can change them. Now, the one thing I do want to mention about handles is we all have natural oils in our skin, and those natural oils have a tendency to really break down paint. So where you're going to be grabbing on this over time is going to wear down and break through the paint, especially if it's on your pantry doors where things like cookies are stored. Not that I eat cookies, but those kids that are in my house. And so using a top coat will help on that. The good news is it's just a $2 or $3 handle, you guys. So if all the paint wears off, you know, that I put on, it's going to take me 30 seconds to touch it up, number one. Or if I decide that I'm tired of it down the road, it's easy enough to switch out, okay? So get busy with your crafting. I hope that helps you guys with another project idea. Bye-bye.